Hey guys, I hope you're all doing great and I hope you all had a great week. So let's get started right away and dive into the code. So this time we are going to reuse an OTA but combine it with a basic grid system. Okay, so we will use the EA from the last episode with the MFI as an entry signal. Great, then let's open the meta editor and let's create a new export. Let's call it MFI and then grid. Here we go. Copy the old one and paste it in here. Amazing. Click on compile and we are ready to go. Okay, first thing we are going to do is to check the variables. Okay, we don't need the stop loss anymore because we are acting with a grid, and then we need some new variables. First thing is a variable which will let us know how many grids we are allowed to make. Okay, here we go, and let's go for 6. Next one. And that's now our grid distance. Here we go, and let's go for 13. Then, yeah, let's change take profit to 20. We can period is 14, that's great. Expiration, let's set 2 hours. And for the distance, let's make sure we don't trigger false signals. So let's go with a distance of 8. Okay, first thing we're going to do is to, placing of first trade into a unique method. Let's get down, then it's a void because we have no return value. And then let's call it make first trade. Amazing. Here we go. Let's open the brackets, paste all that stuff in. Then let's get rid of is new candle because we will trigger that not here. We will trigger that at the top. Then let's get rid of the stop loss and the take profit. You can just type in 0. Then you place no stop loss, no take profit. Okay, amazing. Looks great so far. Let's click Ctrl I to align everything. Now let's copy this method. We will now call this in here. And we will get rid of this one because we asked that already in the function itself. Okay, great. Click on compile and check for no errors. Amazing, no errors so far. And then the next method we want to trigger every new candle is a function. Let's call it start and grid. That's it. Okay, now we have to define this function. This function should basically add another trade if allowed and close if we reached our limit of the maximum trades. Amazing. So again, it's a void. Here we go. Then let's define some things. Okay, what we need is the last order price. But we don't have a function for that yet. So let's write one. Okay, here we go. Let's create a double this time because we have a return value. Then let's open the brackets. First, we have to select the order. We literally have to grab it first. Therefore, we call order select. And this time we go by position. So let's call for orders total. That will return 5, for example, if you have 5 trades open. But as you already know, indexing works different. If we have 5 orders, order number 1 is 0, order number 2 is 1. So it's basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. An index starts always from number 0. Then, therefore, in order to grab the last one, we have to do orders total minus 1, because orders total would be 5. We have 5 trades open, but the index of the last order is 4. Okay. And then we have to type how we want to select it, not by ticket, by position. And we want open trades, because I can also write mode history, for example, but we want to grab an open one. And then basically we just type down return order open price. Here we go. That's it. Perfect. Now we know already the open price of the last position we placed. Okay, with that, we are then able to calculate if we should add a new trade. Now we need the amount of trades we have currently open, because we have a maximum grid amount. Let's go for int current orders, and let's call again a function. We have to write order total for symbol. So order total for the current symbol open. Here we go. Then let's write this one. It's an integer because we return an integer, and then open the brackets, and here we go. Now let's make a loop. First we need a counter. It's int count equals 0, and then we will start right away with the loop. We go for int I equals 0, I smaller than orders total, and I plus plus. Okay, so that will mean we create an iterator I, and every time we go through this loop, we increment it. We add a 1 to I. And if we have order totals 5, for example, first round is 0, because I is 0, smaller than 5, yes. So we would go into the loop. Next time we increment it automatically, therefore I is 1. Is 1 smaller than order total is 5, yes, so we go through. And for example, the last round would be 4. 4 is smaller than orders total because it's 5. We would go into the loop. Next time, I is 5, and then is 5 smaller than 5? No, so we stop going into the loop. That's how this looping works. So next thing we're going to do is to select the order. So basically what we can do is, boom, copy that. So we save a bit of time. We select this order. But this time we select it also by position, but with I, because we want order 0, order 1, order 2, order 3, order 4, order 5, and so on. And now we create the if statement, if order symbol equals symbol. We just make sure that we are just looking for the orders of the current symbol. Let's open this and let's increment the counter. Here we go. So just to let you know, this would be the same. Counter equals counter plus 1 would be the same like this one. So that means we just increment it by 1. First time matched, first time this condition matched, counter is going to 1, second time it's going to 2, to 3, to 4, and so on. And after this loop, we return the count. That's it. You can compile. Here we go. We have an error. We forgot the semicolon. Perfect. Now we have enough data to calculate if we should add a grid. So let's do if current orders is smaller than our max grid and is trade open equals true. So we have a trade open. Only then go into this condition. Now, if the last order price minus bid, I will type that down and then I will explain it. Let's add some brackets, is greater than equals get pips to price from the grid distance. That's it for now. Okay, this is now basically for the buy direction. So we check if the last order price, so for example, last order price minus bid. I show you now why. Okay, we entered here into the market, and then if we are going down, 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 we ask for the last order price. That's this here. And then we do the last order price minus bid. Bid is the current price, so we are around here. That means we do this minus this. This is higher and this is smaller, so we get a positive number. And if this is then greater than our grid distance, then we enter into a trade. So let's copy the buy execution real quick. And this time we not go for entry, we go for the ask price. It's a buy. And this has no expiration because it's a grid. Okay, then this one, we can delete this. Here we go, amazing. Then let's copy this. Let's change this for the cell. Now it's ask minus last order open price, and here we go for, sorry, this one is a operation buy, and this one is now a operation sell. It's not a stop anymore, it will get executed directly. Looks good so far. Now there's just one more thing. The opposite direction can also be triggered if the trade is going into our favor. Therefore, we have to make sure that we are currently in the right direction. Let's add a variable. We will define this one later on. Let's make sure that we are in a buy. I'll show you exactly what I mean in a few seconds. Direction equals sell. Let's define this real quick. Up here, this is a string. Here we go. Boom. And when we make the first trade, always then change it to the correct direction. So here we make the sell. So that's the reason why we call direction and call it sell. Here we go. Next. Direction equals buy. Here we go. Okay, always when you open a buy, we call the direction buy. And here we do the same. Amazing. Now I will show you why I have done this. Because if we take a look here, let's make an example. Let's say we entered the buy somewhere here. And if it's going into our favor and our take profit is, for example, 30, but our grid is 20, then we would go into a sell. And why? Because ask minus last order price, the ask is somewhere here, minus the last order price would be a positive number, and if our take profit is 30 and the grid 20, then after 20 pips in profit we would make a sell trade. To avoid that, I have written this direction thing. Here we go. Let's compile it and hope for no errors, and we see a lot of errors. Is trade open? We forgot the brackets because it's a method. Here we go, 0 errors. Amazing. Now let's write Control I to align everything, and now let's write the else function. So if current orders is not smaller than maximum grid, that's the point where we want to start to close the positions. Therefore, we make an else if, and if the current orders greater equals than the max grid count, then we will open the brackets and we do exactly the same thing as here. The only difference is this time we don't open trades, we close them. Therefore, let's call this close all trades. Amazing. This is now a method, so we have to write it. But we'll do that in a second. Here we go. It's again a void. Open the brackets, and here we go. Again, we need to make a loop. This time we are doing something a little bit different. You only do that when you are closing trades. I will let you know exactly why. So this time we start orders total. So I will not start with 0, it will start with 10, for example. Don't forget the -1, because as I said, 10 trades. That means the index of the trades is 0 to 9. And we do that as long as I is bigger equals 0. And I minus minus. Here we go. Boom. Just to explain you why we go this time in the opposite direction, and that's pretty easy, because let's make an example. We have 5 orders. We go through order 1, and we would, or let's say we go to order 0 and we will close order 0. Then the next time I would be 1. But in the meantime, we have closed order 0. So what was previously order 1 is now order 0, and therefore we would always skip 1 order. Therefore you have to do it in the opposite direction, because then we have order indexed from 0 to 10, for example, and then we close 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and so on. So let's select the order again by I, and then select it by position, and again the open trades. Open trades. Let's make sure we check for the symbol to don't interact with other pairs. Order symbol equals the current symbol from the chart. Boom. Open the brackets. And here we go. Now let's do the order close. Order close. Then we need the ticket. That's order ticket, because we have this order right now in our hands. Then the lots is the order lots from the current position. Then we want to close this position by the current price. I will type now ask, but we will have to distinguish between a buy position and a sell position. Slippage, let's go for 20, not so important, no color, here we go. Then this one is now a sell trade. Sell trades are closed with the ask price, and buy trades are closed with the sell price. So when the order type equals an operation sell, then we close like that. Else we close it by bit Control I. Here we go. Looks great. Click on compile. No errors. Amazing. Okay, now we should be able to add grids when it's necessary and to close grids when it's necessary. Then there's one key thing missing, the take profit. Let's go up to the logic and then write the function called close TP. Here we go. Pretty simple. Boom. Now we have to write this code. So let's copy this and start to write the code. And this one is again a void. We don't have any returns. Open the brackets and let's make a if. So if, let's call again a function. We will write that soon. Get total profits for symbol. Okay, then this one, so get the total profits for symbol should be greater equals our take profit. Then what we want to do now is to close the orders. how was it called? Close all trades. Here we go. Perfect. Now we have to write this method. We still need to figure out how many pips our trades are on profit. Therefore, we need now a double, because we want to return something. Here we go. This one is now a bit more complicated, but I will break it down for you. So first of all, we need a variable, total profit. Here we go. And then we need a loop. Let's copy one, not this one. I will go with this one. Amazing. So we save a bit of time. We've done that already several times, but this time, instead of counting trades, we want to collect the profit our orders made. So total profit equals total profit plus the current profit of the order. That's order profit. Here we go. Normally we would need to add as well the commission, the swap and all that, but that wouldn't be that much work. Just order swap and so on. Just add order commission and then you're good to go. But let's keep it like that for this example. Then the next thing is, before we return the value, we want to return the value in pips, because as you can see, we compare it here with pips. And in order to calculate from profit to pips, we need a pip value. Because for example, if we are, like, let's say 100 euro in profit and we want to calculate how much pips that is, then we need a pip value. How much profit do we make per pip for each lot? And on Euro USD, for example, it's something like 9.5, and that lead to approximately 11 pips. And therefore we need just the pip value. Here we go. In order to calculate that, we make a variable called pip value. Then we call for market info, and also we do that for the current symbol. And then what's it called? Let me think. It's exactly mode tick value. Here we go. Okay, we just have to do that by 10 because yeah, it's a tick value. And now let's harmonize it to our lot size. So here we go. Double pip value final is then our pip value times our lot size. Why am I doing that? Because here we calculated the pip value for a standard lot, for one lot. So for example, when you are USD, we will get in return something like 9.4 euro. But that's the value for one pip and one lot. And if we trade with 0.01, we want to get less than that. And therefore, yeah, we made now pip value times lot size. Now we want to calculate our pips, and that's now the total profit divided by our final pip value. Here we go. And now just return pips and we are good to go. Let's compile it, hope for no errors. Amazing. Okay, that looks great so far. Let's check everything. So when we have a new candle, we make first trade. The first trade is only placed when it's possible and when we have no open orders and when our signal is correct. Okay, so we'll not open multiple trades and start and end the grid. That will only be executed when we have no trades open and we are smaller than max grid, and then we will add one according to our distance, and here we will close it. Looks amazing so far. And the logic is triggered. Amazing. Close take profit. We have done that. Get total profits for symbol. Greater than take profit. Then we execute close all trades. They get total profits. Calculate the total profit in this loop, and then we return the pips. Yeah, looks amazing. So let's test this out. Here we go. So let's do like, I don't know. Let's go for 1 year. Let's do the visual mode to check it. Let's go for the M15. Let's check some settings here. Spread. Let's do something 4 on Euro USD. Let's make a fixed one. Yeah, not important. 4 euro commission. That's great for Forex swap. Amazing. Looks great. Now let's go for the visual mode, and first we need to check if the settings are right. Yeah, that doesn't look that bad. Let's click on start. Okay, finally we are ready to go. Okay, we had our first buy stop. It wasn't triggered, unfortunately. We had our first buy trade. The first grid was opened. It was closed because together we had like 10, 20 pips. Yeah, looks great. 16 and something 3 with that order. Amazing. Together 20 pips. This was an instant take profit. This sell is now triggered. Let's open the first grid, second grid, and boom, together we had like minus a few pips, plus a few pips, and plus a few, and in total it was 20. Looks amazing. So I don't know. Let's test it for 1 year and see what is happening. Hour. Okay. Yeah, now it's looking better. First it was for quite some time break even, but now it's taking off. Okay, looks insane. High drawdown, yeah, because we used high lot size, but yeah, we also flipped the account more than once, so that's crazy. Not bad. Let's do something more realistic. Let's go for 50K and that lot size. Let's take a look into it, and yeah, looks still amazing. So we made in 1 year 50%. We had a drawdown of 18%, so it doesn't look that bad at all. It's of course a bit riskier because of the grid, but we have like our maximum grid, and with that we could higher our overall success rate when opening a trade. Yeah, amazing. That's it from this episode. I hope I could show you that grid isn't always bad if you know how to manage it. You know, grid can be bad if you just go full margin mode and grid forever. That's absolute crap. But if you choose it carefully, it can make sense. Sorry for the background noise right now, outside of outdoors or construction. But anyways, I will finish this video now. I just wanted to show you that grid isn't always bad. You just need to understand how to use it. In this case, we haven't even made any rules for the grid, so we just execute the grid based on a distance, not even signals. We could also like only add grids if there's a signal given in the market and stuff like that. Then we could improve it and so on. But I just wanted to show you that it can be used in a good way. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I will see you in the next one. Give this video a thumbs up and may subscribe to the channel if you are interested in coding.